Did ninja or samurai really wear swords on their back? And if so, was it for drawing or was it for a different purpose? Today I'm going to be going through some history and some basics on how to actually use a sword on your back, or how the samurai and ninja would draw from the back. There is very little historical evidence of samurai or ninja even ever using swords on their back. It really came up in the 20th century when the ninjas were popping off more in the movies and the video games, anime and stuff like that. But as for samurai and ninja, they were basically the same. So it wasn't like a ninja had a ninja sword specifically to draw from their back. Samurai and ninja were in the same class, so they would use either a katana, wakizashi, or a different type of okatana or tachi back in the day. But there's a few historical references in the Book of Samurai. You'll see that they have a section on there that tells you when you are traveling through difficult areas, you want to sling the katana on your back, or your swords, you would want to put them on your back. This would be for climbing things, or if you were going through the forest, you wouldn't want the katana to be hitting the trees or whatever you're trying to climb. It'd be more difficult to get through terrain like that. Even me, when I hike out here, I've done it myself and I've tried the differences, and it's way better. Personally, for me, I prefer to have it on the back. Whenever I go train or I'm hiking through the forest with my katana, that's the best way to move through the forest. You can climb things way easier. It's not going to get in the way, so that's one thing for sure. Trial and error on the back is way better than having it on your side while traveling. This is the method I've found useful for me. I take the kurigata, this section right here on the katana, and you want to make a regular knot right here. Just make a simple knot, whatever you can, so that it stays in place. So wherever you end up tying this knot on the kurigata, make sure that you have about the same length of string on one side as the other. You're going to take the top one, put it across your back right here, making sure you're holding the string, the top one. Then you can grab the bottom one right here, and you're going to just do a basic knot right here. There's different ways to tie it. You can also tie it how the samurai would tie their sleeves. You can do the same method. For me, this is the easiest way, and you want to have it with enough room so you're not uncomfortable when you're wearing this. So you can make 1 or 2 knots. I like to make 2 just in case, and then that way you'll have enough leverage to draw the katana and it won't be too uncomfortable while you're wearing it. So you'll find different ways to tie it yourself. This is just what I like to do. And then for drawing, the secret for drawing the katana, you want to make sure that the back edge is along your back. And then when you're reaching up, you can do different methods. I'm going to be going through how to do different strikes from here, the different draws that I've found effective. You'll see that if you just try to pull the katana up, you're going to get stuck. Unless you have really long arms, you're going to get stuck trying to go sideways, up. Doesn't matter what you do with the katana, it's going to be too long, and you might be able to take it out, but the easiest way would be to pull the sheath down, and then you're pulling the katana at the same time. So pull, and then it's easier to draw. Another thing you can do too is just adjust the sword. You can push the bottom of the sheath up a little bit, so that when you pull, you'll have a little bit more leverage. So when you're here, push up, grabbing both the top of the katana and the bottom, and then pull both at the same time. Here, swing, easy. Now for resheathing, you can do this all day, but this right here is going to take you a while, and then you might end up not even making that point right there to resheath your sword. It's a little bit more dangerous than just doing this, where you're pulling the sheath down. You're going to make sure that you're bringing the top part of the saya up, so that you can do your same sheathing technique you would do as if it was on your side. So right here, easy, put it back, make sure you're holding the katana up. You're going to make sure you're grabbing the bottom of the sheath and you're holding the katana in place. Go to the side, and then once you're here, you let go of the top of the sword, and then fix the string, your sageo, and grab the bottom of your sheath to put it back in place, and you're good to go. Now when drawing the katana, you can also do different angles. So if I wanted to go straight up, you would pull up while pulling the sheath down, and then you would do a downward strike. So here, straight down. Now, if you wanted to do different angles, going to be the same thing. You just want to make sure that before you're actually drawing the katana, you have it angled at that position so that it'll be a little bit easier. So if I wanted to do a low strike, put it right here, so it'll be a little bit easier than coming up and then swinging down. You can do that, but when you angle it, it'll give you a little bit more direction of where you want to end up the draw. So if I wanted to do a little bit more diagonal or low side here, draw to the side. Now the practicality of it, if you were really to be using a sword on your back, it depends. If you're in the forest, it would be a lot easier to have it on your back. Like I said, you're going to be obstructed with the trees. If you're having to climb things, you have to run. It's a lot easier to run with this on your back than if you had the katana on your side with the wakizashi. When you run, if you want to stabilize it, it's a lot better. But even if you were to just be running, you could still go through and it won't be coming out of the saya or your sheath. As another thing for the practicality, you can still slice things down. You can do it with the bamboo mats, tatami mats, or whatever you're trying to cut. It'll still be able to do enough damage from your back like it would from the side. When you're practicing this, repetition is always going to be the best thing. No matter what you're trying to practice, whatever type of draw you're doing with your katana, same with your back. You want to do it just repetitive. You know, you're going to be doing it a bunch of times so you get it down. The more you do it, the faster you're going to get, and it's going to become a little bit easier to draw, and you'll get that motion down, pulling down the sheath and swinging the sword at the same time. It's all in that motion right there, because you're bringing down the sheath just enough so that the tip of the katana can come out smoothly. And remember, always keep the back of the sword on your back, so that way it'll come out with one swipe. You won't have it going towards you. You might end up cutting yourself if you have the blade facing the wrong way. So make sure you always have the blade going towards your target. I'm going to be going through some drills that I do or I've done to practice drawing from the back and then resheathing. The resheathing, the more you do it, like I said, it's just going to get easier. But drawing from your back takes a little bit of time. You just got to get the motion down and then get comfortable with the different angles. So practice doing a high swing coming downward, a downward strike. Always practice that. Try to do like 25 or more. Do 25 or more downward strikes. Then you're going to do to the side at an angle and then low strikes. First one, down, come over here, resheath. Again, from the other side, we're going to switch up the angle now. Here, diagonal. And then for the low strike, it's going to be a little bit more tricky, but you want to go more to the side so that you can bring it down a lot faster. Here, swing downward. Same thing can be done if you want to do a horizontal strike. From the horizontal side. And just practice. If you want to get good at drawing from your back, the more practice you get down, the easier it's going to become, and you'll be able to draw with no problem. So it is debatable historically if the samurai and ninja really used it. Like I said, in the Book of Samurai, Anthony Cummins translated the book. Check it out. It's really good. You can get it on Amazon. And they have a bunch of stuff in there of the samurai of how they would travel. So one of the things that they did say, traveling wise, when you're going through difficult areas, whether it be mountain, terrain, or forest, you want to sling it on your back so it'll be easier going through, climbing things, or running through the forest if you had to do some different type of activity. Same thing with the ninja. If the ninja had to go on a mission, they would go solo, and it would be a lot easier for a ninja to have a sword on their back if they were doing some climbing activity or using the kaginawa, grappling hook, stuff like that. It would be a lot better to just sling it on your back than to have it on your side. Let me know what you guys think. Did samurai and ninja really wear swords on their back? And what do you find easier for drawing? If you found a different method, I'd like to know in the comments as well. I'm always looking for different techniques for resheathing and drawing the sword from the back. I think it's awesome. It's really fun to practice it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.